Hello. This is a Star Trek game. Yeah. What is this called? This is Star Trek Resurgence. And I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play a Star Trek game. Been playing dinosaur games. Haven't been getting nerdy enough. I'm not sure which side of the screen my camera should be on or whatever. But yeah, welcome. Follow Dramatic Labs on Twitter apparently. But yeah, I haven't ever recorded a Star Trek game, but I'm definitely a nerd of the at least the middle generation of Star Trek television. So what do we got here? It looks like we got a ready room, some pads. Somebody left their tricorder on, and it looks like they've got a paperweight, but that seems like an artifact from an old time. So this is a story-based game, and I'm going to get into it. Let's just go. Let's choose... Which one will we choose? Let's choose empty slot. Did I succeed in choosing empty slot? Oh, I had to hit begin. Okay. I'm excited. I should have worn my my Trek paraphernalia. My Trekaphernalia. This is a Dramatic Labs adventure. The relationships and events you're about to experience will be shaped by the choices you make. Unlike real life. I really don't know what this is going to entail other than like dialogue choices. I should say I'm playing this on the PS4. So this is the PS4 version. I don't know if that affects anything. Look, a Type 6 shuttlecraft.
Stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission.
Aha.
And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down.
Unprecedented ion storm.
They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good.
I don't know if you can hear it. I should have turned the subtitles on. I want to change the volume.
The first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
What about Shepard? She's a spacer. Well, it's what you get from flying into an unprecedented ion storm. Oh boy, we're gonna be dropping frames. Quick, grab the pad. It's gonna have quick time events.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. These little shuttles are the worst.
Don't close your eyes.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try.
But Commander, the stars are moving. I really need to... Hang on, can I pause this? Okay, thank God I can pause this. Because my camera is blocking the things that it's telling me. So let me try moving it to the other side, but hopefully I don't get dialogue choices on that side. Broadcast settings. Every time I've recorded with a camera for the last, like, week or two, I've ended up having to change the camera settings. Upper right, flip, okay. Back. Okay. Meanwhile, sound, let's turn it up a bit. Cool. Hopefully that won't blow my eardrums out. Okay. Resume. The crew is something about what I... Choices...
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring...
Hopefully I wasn't supposed to press something.
So am I.
It wouldn't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this.
Miranda
She's
class.
the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy.
And there's a Excelsior back there. And a Steam Runner and a Nova. Pretty. Star Trek Resurgence. The beginning is just reminds me a lot of the beginning of Mass Effect. That's why I'm quoting that. Now I've turned up the volume. Hopefully you can still hear me now. Hello, Nova class. Pretty. We're backing up. Using the backup camera. Ouch. Oh, it's a special shuttle with a exterior docking ring. Okay. I don't know if I have to shout over the volume or not. I could test it, but yeah, now it's a bit loud. That guy is just gonna stay sitting there for some reason. Is he coming? Check in at security. Use left stick to move. Wait, hang on. That ensign didn't get out with the rest of us. Should we check on him? Hello? You okay in there? He's just listening to music, I guess. What do we see out the window? Use R2 to interact. Well, I am. R2! Yeah, that does look like an unprecedented ion storm. I gotta turn them. I've got to turn the music down. This is ridiculous. Hang on a second. No, hang on. Settings. Master volume needs to be up. Music volume at half, I think. Maybe at 60% or so. Let's turn sound effects down a bit. It was the dialogue that we really needed louder. Resume. Okay, that should be more reasonable. Performance. Oh, you did come along.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
Okay, very impressive.
So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
I'm gonna be nice.
It was tough.
I don't like this guy, but it's, they're nice.
Set my mind
I mean, I'm gonna.
and it paid off.
What's her name is nice. Once again, I can't see.
Hold it there for a few seconds.
Okay, pause. Okay, bye. I have to turn my camera off because I can't see what's telling me to do. What is this? Oh. No, wait, no, don't stop broadcasting. Advanced settings. Turn off the camera. Okay. Alright, what am I supposed to do? What? Commander Jara.
Commander Rydek.
Rydek.
You're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before.
I'll be nice.
I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground, so to speak.
The pleasure's mine, Ensign...
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's
Ermot!
just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
We're all such professionals here in Starfleet. Alright. I think we're supposed to find him endearing, but I just find him pathetic. Alright, let's carry on. This is just a hallway, so... Is there a sprint button? Oh, good, okay.
Good day, Commander.
Oh, good day. Oh, wait, no, wait. Are we on a, I thought we were gonna get a Miranda class, but this is a Centaur class. Or, is that right? Oh, now my nerddom is being challenged by this.
Remember my briefing. Commander Ermont is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Well, but this person is interactable. Talk to the lost crewman.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah,
See,
right.
everybody's useless. I'm the only one who can read. I hope... he
Thanks so much, Commander.
and his arm just gets grabbed by the door. And he just hangs there in the turbo lift as it goes down. Oh, man. Okay. I'm looking for a Bolian. You couldn't ambush a Bolian if he was blindfolded and tied to a tree. Let's examine information.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Okay, that's very interesting and all, but... I see 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's just in the one corner, so I don't know. Alright. I don't see any Bolians, so let's examine the replicated
I'll
meal.
replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Okay. So that's not a Bolian. And this is an Orion. Let's talk to this person. Talk to Starfleet officer.
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Oh, he totally wasn't there before.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Excuse me. I'm gonna walk
Excuse
through
me.
your conversation. Look, she even said excuse me. Approach Commander Ermont. Ermont grunt. And then I blacked out. Oh, there we are.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
I know this voice actor from something else. What else is new when I play video
Grateful
games?
you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And if I can help in any way, just let me know.
Okay. Couldn't really talk out loud while they're talking. Yeah, looks like we're in a Charlie Reynolds Centaur. It was a Centaur, right? I think that's right.
USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle.
What'd you get for
Plus,
singing
it's
too
our first
loud?
officer and 22 of our crew.
Oh, okay. I won't make fun
At
of
the
it.
end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
I'm gonna say
That's
I'm
what it
sorry for
means
your
to be a
loss.
crew.
I'm gonna say, which game do I know you from?
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
I'm gonna be positive.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time. And I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first.
I'm gonna say
Let's hope
thanks
they
for
come
the...
to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
That is
Starfleet
kind.
has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region.
Okay. Okay, we can explore our choices. Explore choices. Okay. So Ensign Calloway was grateful for Jara's helpful guidance when he was nervous on the shuttle flight. Okay. I came off as humble and appreciative while showing empathy for what the crew of the Resolute suffered. That's good. I mean, like, I don't think that I could have done anything wrong in those conversations, but I'm glad I presented myself well. Too bad you don't get one of these after you interact with people in real life. Like, the person at the grocery store thought you were kind and patient while they rang up your groceries. They are now your friend. I don't know. All right. Resume.
I'll let the captain brief you on. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
But we're walking so slowly, Commander. Yeah, if your operations officer is already a commander, like, why are they not first officer? That's a bit weird. They want me to open this container, but I'm it's too heavy. All right, let's do it. At least not button presses. All right. Meanwhile, a different shuttle. Well, you got to clean the goop off it first.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Find the plasma torch. That would be this. Yeah, I know my Star Trek paraphernalia. Clear the corrosion. Oh, this is like that other game I was playing, Car Mechanic Simulator. Next. This is a lot like Car Mechanic Simulator, actually. Okay. Exciting. He's so pleased. Alright, I gotta rotate the stick. And now pull it out. Well, there's your problem. Your space intake manifold was all corroded. I'll turn it that way.
Is that?
He's very pleased with himself for changing a part. I feel like I could have done that. Which, if you think about it, I did. Oh, frames. Ow. Ugh. Ow. Don't pan again.
Totally fried.
Well, all you had to do is replace it with one that wasn't fried.
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing
Carter.
really.
Not a
Carter.
moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Well, somebody should have told me that. Follow El Edsalar. Hello. Let's talk to crewman.
Everything okay?
I dropped a non-ferrous connector between the coils. Gonna have to remove a few of them to find it, and then...
Whew, then another hour of recalibrating. Ouch. I'll leave you to it.
Alright, I'm supposed to run. Run, 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 run. Oh my god, I skipped leg day. Wait, hang on. Okay, fine. I feel like I should move these probes. Oh my god, my neck. Ugh.
Carter Diaz!
Ow. Oh. Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more sense than zero G. You're welcome.
What about...
Hurry up!
Okay, fine. I'll make him do the rest. I don't really understand what's happening. I don't want to be late. But now we're walking really slow again. The music is just very exciting. Ooh, look, a Jeffrey's tube. Can I go that way? No. Turbo lift.
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I
Chovak!
can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
What's the matter, Nilly? Afraid of a little hard work?
A little hard work? Really? A little? 6 months of putting this ship back together is a lot of hard work.
Yeah, and here we are. Just about ready to go.
I mean, if it was like the hard work I was doing a minute ago, I feel like we had it pretty easy.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
Alright, I'm gonna say... almost late is not late.
Commander Chovak, isn't it true that if we were almost late, it categorically means that we were not late?
That is correct, Mr. Diaz.
I mean, if anything, Ed Solar and I are following the schedule to the letter.
Yes, perhaps I should adjust the schedule accordingly.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us
I
down
feel like that
here
made him
before we
angry.
Go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails
I feel like I'm
preparations.
flipping back and forth.
Sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders.
Hotari.
Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly.
We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa. Excuse me.
Klutz. What is it?
A lot of new faces coming on board.
Why isn't it any old refit or any old relaunch?
Replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt.
I also think she's been in things that I've played before as well.
Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome.
Carter!
As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Where do I put my head in that? Through that little hole? It just kind of sucked around my neck there.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go.
And you smudged my helmet.
See you on the other side.
If I know Star Trek, we're in for a 20-minute long, incredibly slow section on the outer hull. They appeared to be wearing magnetic boots. Maybe I can bring my head in. Hang on. Maybe I can bring my head in the bottom. Hang on. Advanced settings. This camera video settings. Lower right. Let's try that. I'm back. There's two cameras, and I don't know which one I'm actually looking at. So, all right. Carter. Miranda felt encouraged by Carter's warm reception when she first arrived aboard the Resolute, holding out hope there might be some chemistry between them. Ah, okay. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Commander Chovak found Carter to be cheeky and cavalier when he and Ed Solar were almost late in main engineering. Well, that's exactly what he was. He was all ready for the Nutcracker. All right, let's go. Oh, left stick. Wait, that's what I'm doing. Okay, yeah. Walk forward. Well, you could do it. Can't we be in the Miranda? I like the Miranda's prettier. Or the Excelsior.
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
Seems like we're a little bit vulnerable. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The shuttle came by quite quickly. Don't fly so close to the impulse engines. See, now I'm looking down. It's kind of weird. I'm looking down at the screen. Like I should be like this. Shuttles! The USS Resolute. Oh, and a steam runner in the background. It's just an Excelsior saucer section, and nacelles rearranged. Okay, meanwhile we switched back to somebody else. Jana.
Captain
Jana?
Solano should be here momentarily.
Okay. All I can think of is Casa Solano. The like mall. Or the like where the co-op is.
I don't know much about Kobold, but my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized.
I'm a Kobold.
Start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Can finally get some food. Oh look, there's some amethyst behind me. What about Shepard? She's a spacer, grew up on ships most of her life. She saved everyone on the something or other. Examine the window.
We'll be out there soon. Going where no one has gone before.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. With some glitches, apparently, as well. See? The Miranda's really pretty. Alright. Let's see, what's he got? Some amethyst, a Mobius loop, an ammonite, a little globe, some books, a model train.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Okay.
Jara Rydek.
I didn't get my dinner.
Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible.
There's more amethyst.
Burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The regret is, we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
I had hoped for more. No, this is enough.
Unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage.
Oh, you're the one who left your tricorder out on your desk. I don't know the details.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained. Probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough.
That's how it always starts. That's how it always starts.
10,000 teradynes per second.
That's how it always starts.
The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career? Right there.
Have you not seen any episodes of Voyager? That's basically all that ever happened.
So horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle.
Not a pressure gradient.
It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You aren't to blame. Well, you might be,
You're
but
being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances. In my defense, I will say I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account.
The bad guy music has started.
Action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
I'm gonna say the final decision is yours. I'm gonna say you can. The final decision is yours.
This is your ship, and you are the captain. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say goes.
That's the kind of support I'm looking for. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with
the villain music is playing.
Mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space.
I wonder who it'll be.
Peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified.
Why are we uniquely qualified?
This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
The Hotari system.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater.
That's a powerful storm.
The diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
So basically, we're being sent into the eye of a storm, more powerful than anything on record.
Well, yes. But we're taking every precaution. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come. Let me introduce you to the crew.
I never got any food. Got a sculpture. Got the earth. And it's too late. Too late for a replicator. And I'm never going to find out what her favorite beverage is. Which... oh god. Which way did you go? Okay, there you are. Oh, is this the bridge? The bridgey-do. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, okay, this is a pretty good bridge layout. Restrained, but totally workable. I don't get a headrest, though.
If I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer.
Don't everybody say hello at once.
Introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Okay, we got our cocky helmsman.
Commander Westbrook, our chief science officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian.
Bedrosian, I recognize your voice. Why?
I've been following your career for quite some time. And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
I'm gonna say the honor is mine. I don't know who this person is.
The honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really...
Yeah, this is another voice actor that...
So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done. But you definitely set a standard to strive for.
Okay. Glad I inspire you.
You do know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you, but it's important to chart your own path.
Thanks. You can count on it.
Whoa, 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 the audio quality just went super weird.
Of course, you've already met Commander Ermont.
How do you know? Oh yeah, I guess he said...
to make Commander Rydek feel at home here.
The other people don't matter, we don't know that.
I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. They drag their feet any longer. The bridge is yours?
Who knows what they said? I might have to put on subtitles to deal with that. Sit in captain's chair when ready. Can I talk to anybody? Alright, this is good. We got ops. And who are you? Examine communications.
Communications keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
Oh, I know what it does. I wanted to meet the human that was sitting there. Also, everyone is human as far as I can tell. I'm Kobold. What am I? I'm a No, Kobold is from D&D. What am I? You're too short for your tactical station there, miss. No, I know what tactical does. It's like in front of your face. They should have put it a little lower. Alright, well anyway, and this is science. That's good. It's a good layout. I have designed many a bridge layout, and it's often hard to get it to be elegant. So I'm appreciating the elegance of this. Now, what is your job, madam? Apparently you weren't important enough to be introduced. Are you were the lee helm? I'm gonna look out the window. Oh, it is a window too, isn't it? Examine view screen.
Impressive range of view.
Okay. It really is a window, isn't it? Alright. I assume the captain's chair is the one with the headrest, because their neck is more valuable. Oh, what am I looking at? Ooh, what's that? Tactical hollow. What does this do?
Tactical hollow dais. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
I see what they're saying. Alright. Take command. My ship.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field. Now.
Entering maintenance mode.
And then the ship goes... Nothing will go wrong like this. Oh my gosh. Now we get to... Oh, storm surge. That's good.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Alright, you gotta do this before the storm surges while the ship doesn't have its structural integrity field online. Why would you be able to hear the storm?
Every
Well, I
time
guess...
we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When
I wish I could look around.
All I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No.
We're starting to lose parts of the
Sometimes it
audio.
feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
I am more than that. And so are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
There's going to be an alien inside. Alright, left stick, right trigger. Cool. Alright, she's going to hit me in the head with it. Oh no, okay. Left, okay, gotta do the manual, gotta kind of micromanage here. The calibration tool. Well, you found me. Now you go hide and I'll search for you.
Beginning recalibration.
Align the structural integrity field. Move tool, tune node. Tune nodes to center the circular indicators. Okay.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
That didn't look good to me. I don't really understand what happened there. Is somebody going to notice the
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science
flashing
Officer.
red light?
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. At least I know this ship inside and out.
Hang on. I gotta turn on settings. Oh, gotta go to settings because I need to turn on subtitles because we're dropping frames and we're losing people's dialogue. Resume.
Better than just about anyone.
So you're useful.
Well, I'm so glad you said that. Now I know exactly who to turn to when I have questions.
Questions are more Commander Ermont's territory. Captain Solano primarily relies on my knowledge and expertise when he needs answers.
Well, that's what a question is.
A Kobold, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all.
I'm just doing the eyebrows with them.
As an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion. What would happen then?
I have a mood ring. My mood ring would go off.
Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal.
Wouldn't do this on the
No
bridge.
disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew, and he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
I think I said the right thing there. Oh, I'm frozen.
Seeing as Captain Solano is
Oh,
on the
nothing.
starbase, let me give you an update on this
It's a
ion
neutral.
storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
It's gonna surge and our structural integrity field will be misaligned. And then the main characters will all die.
Massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Shields! Shields!
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy, like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red alert!
Red alert!
Aye.
Well, that is the weirdest warp core I've ever seen.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
We need the structural integrity field back online.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the
Let's-
structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
Nice graphic.
Sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
He's the
Commander
senior
Westbrook,
officer.
Use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed. It's going to be tight.
Good.
I chose the
Send pulse
deflector.
on my command.
He's the more experienced officer.
Now.
I think I did that wrong.
That was too early.
I didn't understand what the minigame was. Okay, good. Issue the command when the indicator is green. What is the difference between retry in story mode and retry? Oh, I think that just makes it easy? Let's just retry.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal time.
It probably should have been the shields.
Good. Send the pulse on my command.
There we go.
We got it. This is it.
All hands, brace for impact.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
That can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Good thing we're here with the recalibration tool.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood.
I'm really curious how things have been going. Calloway, blah blah blah. Mixed feelings about Jarrah's suitability. Pleased she heeded his advice and used the deflector pulse. Discouraged when she chose not to follow her advice to raise the shields. Reassured by modesty and leadership potential. Okay, cool. What about Carter? Carter! Inspired. Alright.
Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe?
Haven't we been, like, killed by the radiation? Override the EPS failsafe.
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
I didn't follow all of that, but I'm just gonna interlock. Toggle interlock. Toggle the other interlock. This is a very exciting minigaming. It's just doing quick time things.
Engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
Not crosstalk.
Route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Okay. I don't really know. Remove routing ISO. Insert routing ISO. Is that what I was supposed to do?
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
I'm glad that was the correct way to do it, because I have no idea what that did.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
What if it's a life form? Holster. Why do you have a phaser? Hey, I holstered my phaser.
So
Immersion ruined.
Not that there's really an up, but you know.
Use my phaser to clear a path. What am I having to... Danger close! Are we sure these aren't life forms? These are acting an awful lot like life forms. Ah!
Are you alright?
Yeah. So took most of it. Just snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%. We're almost to the regulator.
Not really sure what these are or why they're attacking me. Or why my phaser has so little charge. Did we get there yet? What's happening? Okay. We did it. It's gonna come out of the panel. Look out!
Opening the access panel.
It's gotten very high stakes all of a sudden.
The EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
I'm doing my very best. So, if only we hadn't put the controls on the exterior of the ship. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Okay.
EPS manifold
He's so pleased with himself when he does simple manual tasks. You're not working efficiently, so you will come last. What? Wait, what the hell is happening now? Which one am I supposed to do? Okay, let's start with the blue. Grab. Adjust control.
The EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done.
Who knows?
Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovok can...
Okay, why is Space Dock giving up on us? Oh, it's gonna fall and land on the captain, and then I'll be in command. No. Okay, this looks... get down!
DS to bridge! We just lost the docking clamp.
Yeah, docking clamp. Why did we lose a docking clamp? It's almost like the docking clamp just decided to go hog wild.
We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too.
Beam him back.
Finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
Right?
There's a problem.
Of course.
The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working?
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Beam them back.
Another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
The docking clamp isn't functioning. We're exploring our options.
The option is to detonate the emergency release.
I should have said our crew is out there.
Hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull.
That's always the answer.
Repel the docking clamps.
Reverse the polarity.
Engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? This isn't your call to make. Blow the...
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Jara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
Yeah, I hope so.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there.
Beam them back.
Polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Reverse the polarity.
Starbase, we're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Already pissing off my captain. That's okay. Pretty sure he's evil.
Repair crew, this is acting Captain Jara Rydek. Repair crew, this is acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are... Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
I'm glad I turned on the subtitles. Who knows what's happening?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark!
That was close. It's like I did it on purpose, but I didn't. Why didn't that happen to her? Oh.
Grab my hand. I got you.
Thank you.
interference is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
We just did this. Come on, up. Come on, up. Up. Oh my god, why is this so hard? I'm pushing the buttons as hard as I can. Okay. Thank you. Just push. Oh my god. We're engineering as hard as we can right now. If only we had any electric motors on this spaceship. Look out. She's gonna die. Up.
I got you.
Why is she unconscious?
Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. It has come to my attention that you are at risk of triggering a
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the
I have no idea what's happening. The subtitles turns off.
To access the interior.
Roger that.
Okay. The subtitles turned off, so now I don't know what's happening. What happened to the subtitles? It's slowly falling apart around us. It's part of the tension of the situation, is that the game is slowly breaking. This is what I meant when I said it's the PlayStation 4 version, because we're now the bottom of the totem pole into the development process. Look out. Do we not have transporters? I saw somebody beaming cargo aboard just not 20 minutes ago. Incidentally, it's been about an hour that I've been recording. I should probably stop soon. When we get past this crisis, I'll come to a pause. Oh my god, this walk will never end. Okay, we did it.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
I have taken possession of Edzor. I am a being of pure energy. Why did she wake up all of a sudden? Wait, why did she do that?
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time.
Well, don't sit here talking about it.
No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
I got zapped. Or at least it was me that got zapped. I'm the main character. Okay. Well, I've made everybody angry. I think this is good. Let's pause here. Solano was furious that I defied his orders and did not blow the bolts on the docking clamps. Wait. Bedrosian appreciated Jar's leadership skills when Starbase ordered her to disengage the docking clamps, and she thought highly of Jar's efforts to explain the complexity of the situation to Captain Solano, and she was relieved when Jar defied Captain Solano's orders and made her own command decision in the moment. Was impressed by my leadership skills. He applauded her efforts to explain the complexity. He was thankful when Jar defied Captain Solano's orders. Okay, great. And Ermot was impressed by my leadership. He appreciated blah blah blah. He respected a rational approach. Cool. Did not approve of Jara's unwillingness to follow protocol when she defied Captain Solano's orders to blow the bolts from the docking clamps. Calloway was grateful when nervous. Okay, cool. What about Kata? Kata. Cheeky and cavalier. Grateful when... Okay. I can't quite tell how the system works. But it's all fine. That's my crew. What's modes? Okay, these are the different control modes. Well, anyway, thank you for joining. This has been Star Trek Resurgence, I think? Resurgence, yeah. Maybe because... No, the ship's called the Resolute, so the ship isn't called the Resurgence. I don't know. There's nothing to say about that. Thanks for joining, and I was gonna say to be or not to be. That's not what I was gonna say. Hapla, and yeah, enjoy whatever it is that you do next. Bye bye.